You've been there, confused, questioning everything, wondering what she meant when she said, "I just need space." But then she's posting beach photos and laughing with friends just hours later. You're not overthinking it. And no, you're not crazy. But what you need to understand is this: she might be playing a game, and a high-value man, he doesn't play defense. He doesn't chase. He outsmarts the game with silence, presence, and purpose. This is the mindset shift most men never make. A high-value man sees the game but doesn't react to it. He isn't shaken when a woman pulls back. He doesn't overanalyze, doesn't spiral, doesn't plead for answers. Why? Because he's calculated, controlled, and composed. He recognizes the patterns. He knows when attention is being used as a tool, when the text delay isn't accidental, when flirting with others is more about reaction than romance, when cryptic captions are crafted to stir emotion. But here's the difference. He doesn't bite. He doesn't send paragraphs. He doesn't double text. He doesn't ask, "Did I do something wrong?" Because he isn't trying to prove his worth. He already knows it. He's not desperate for attention. He's filtering for authenticity. And games only work on a man who doubts himself. But a man with self-respect, he's unshakable. He knows that impulsive reactions are emotional giveaways. And power, that's exactly what those games are testing. So when she gets cold, he stays warm with himself. When she pulls back, he leans into his purpose. When she tries to trigger him, he smiles because he sees it for what it is. The truth is, the game only works if you play. But if you observe it like chess, calmly, patiently, strategically, you become untouchable. A high-value man doesn't reward manipulation. He rewards honesty. While most men chase beauty, he looks for depth. In a world where attention is currency and confusion is a tactic, he stays rooted. When a woman tests him, acts distant, drops vague emotional bombs, she's often testing one thing: can she control his emotions? If the answer is yes, she loses respect. If the answer is no, and she's met with calm, direct honesty, that's when everything shifts. He doesn't play the game back. He doesn't manipulate in return. He holds his center and makes her earn access to his vulnerability by showing hers first. She says, "I'm not sure where I'm at." He says, "That's okay, figure it out. I'm not waiting." She says, "I don't want a relationship, but I still want to talk." He says, "I don't do gray areas. I don't share energy." With confusion. And when she drops the act and starts being real, that's when he opens up. He rewards truth and ignores the rest. That's how he teaches. Bring clarity, bring peace, or keep your distance. And through that, he keeps his most important asset, his frame. Because no matter how attractive she is, how magnetic, how tempting, a high-value man never abandons his frame. That's his structure, his beliefs, his boundaries, his calm in the chaos. Women don't fall for men who agree with everything. They fall for men who stand for something. The moment you bend your truth to keep someone around is the moment. You lose yourself and eventually lose them too. If she cancels last minute, he moves on without fuss. If she gets distant, he doesn't chase, he creates space. If she says, "You're hard to read," he smiles and says, "That's because I'm not trying to impress you." That's the shift. When you hold your frame, you become the grounded mountain, steady, unmoved. She can either respect it or walk around it, but you don't shrink to keep her close. You stay rooted, and that is the game changer. But here's the final truth. Detachment is power, not coldness, not apathy, but freedom from neediness. Most men lose their power because they grip too tight, they chase too hard. They think the more they give, the more they'll be chosen. But the opposite is true. The more you cling, the more they pull away. A high-value man understands detachment. He cares, he feels, but he does not cling. He does not beg. He does not try to force connection. He gives space and watches what returns. He doesn't demand love, he invites it. And when someone walks away, he lets them go with grace. Because his life, his mission, his peace, they don't stop for confusion. They keep moving. That's the mindset. That's the edge. That's what makes a high-value man different. He doesn't chase love. He attracts it by being whole on his own. High-value men understand this deeply. They don't obsess over what she's thinking. They don't stay up at night rereading old messages, analyzing every emoji, or twisting their own routines just to get 5 more minutes with her. Why? Because they already know the truth. What's meant for you flows toward you with peace and clarity. What isn't meant for you shows up with drama, confusion, and inconsistency. And when that happens, he doesn't chase closure. He lets go. He walks away from games designed to provoke jealousy. He stays grounded when insecurity is tested. He protects his peace of mind like it's sacred, because it is. She posts for attention, that's her choice. But a high-value man doesn't engage. Because if she's offering herself to the world, she no longer qualifies for his exclusivity. Detachment doesn't mean he's heartless. It means he chooses dignity over desire. He knows if she respects him, she'll show up with clarity. And if she doesn't, she'll fall back into the sea of men who try to impress her. But him, he's still standing tall, watching the waves roll in, completely unshaken. And here's where the shift happens. A high-value man lets her choose, but he makes the decision. It's subtle, but it's everything. Most men lose their power trying to convince a woman to pick them. They overextend, overcompensate, and overthink. But the man with quiet strength, he gives her space to express, to flirt, to feel it out. But deep down he knows he's the one making the final call. She could be stunning, she could be magnetic, she could even adore him. But if she brings stress, instability, or manipulation, he'll choose himself every single time. Because he doesn't make decisions based on hunger. He makes them based on standards. She might say the right things, but if her actions don't match, he won't argue. He won't explain. He won't beg. He simply leaves with a silence that says, I'm not here to be drained. I'm here to be at peace. And that silence, it speaks louder than any argument ever could. Because here's what she learns. You can't play games with a man who's willing to walk away. You can't control a man who values his focus more than temporary affection. You can't shake a man who's already passed the only test that matters, loyalty to himself. Women don't truly want a man they can control. They want a man they can respect. And respect is born from presence, calm, and emotional discipline. It comes from being the mountain, not the storm. From staying rooted when everything else is shaking, from choosing stillness over struggle. Every time you stay in your masculine frame, every time you pick peace over panic, and every moment you stay grounded rather than reactive, you're becoming the kind of man who isn't just wanted, you're becoming unforgettable. So if this message hit something real in you, if you're done with chasing, doubting, overthinking, and letting yourself be pulled into emotional chaos, then prove it. Drop the word unshakable in the comments right now. Let me know you're not just watching, you're building. You're becoming that silent storm. And if you want more content like this, if you're ready to walk the path of grounded masculinity, of focus, of calm power, tap that subscribe button. This is Stoicism, and we're not here to beg for love. We're here to embody it, through strength, through silence, through purpose. Until next time, stand tall, speak less. Watch everything.